Okay, we're at the 7 o'clock hour. If you'd please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance as we open our June meeting. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, next item is the approval of the minutes of our last meeting, which was on April 21st. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. And now we're at the point in our agenda where we ask for public participation and comments on items that are not on this evening's agenda. So if you have something to share with us, please stand up and state your name and address. Hearing none, we'll move on to stormwater management plans. And the first one is LTPC 343, 177 River Drive, stormwater management site plan waiver request listed as a briefing item.
So the applicant is represented tonight in case there are questions. But they asked if I could step in and offer a briefing somewhat on their behalf.
Okay.
This is a project where there is a pool and a deck and some concrete stairs that are proposed. It's pretty normal kind of stuff. There's just a little bit more total area of disturbance than we allow to be processed as a minor land disturbance. So I've reviewed it. I don't have any concerns with it. I don't think that we're going to get a lot of more information out of the project submittal if it were a full stormwater management site plan. They are seeking approval from the County Conservation District for their erosion controls. There's no new stormwater facilities that are being proposed by this. This is just building a new pool and filling in where the other one was. So just because of that work, it exceeds that 5,000 square foot threshold that we have under which minor land disturbance plans can be processed then by the staff. So I did write my June the 2nd letter that I trust you have.
Yep.
And I had recommended that the modification request be approved. And pursuant to our normal practice, the briefing agenda item is what we normally do to give the Planning Commission a sense of the project, what's involved, what's being requested. If you feel like you need that future date or additional time, if you need to review and consider, then certainly that's within your purview. But if you feel like you don't need any further time looking at these plans, taking action tonight would be something that's thoroughly appropriate.
Okay. Fellow Commissioner, do you have any questions on this?
I don't.
And then I would say, are we in agreement then that we can move this from a briefing item to an action item? Based upon what Ben just told us, we've gotten the information that we're really going to get, and that we can leave it to the staff from here?
Yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion then that...
I have one question for you.
Oh, sorry.
There's no stormwater change issues that affect neighbors or anything like that?
Right, it's the stormwater flows through the site. The water that would flow through the pool would continue through the site and to the road rather than to an adjoining property owner. And this plan does reduce the amount of impervious on the site.
Okay, that was it.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors that they approve this stormwater management ordinance modification and waiver request for 177 River Drive, LTPC 343. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So ordered. Thank you. The next item is 1309 Homestead Lane, 3 LTPC 344. This is another stormwater management site plan, and this is also listed as a briefing item. Hi, Amanda.
Good evening. Amanda Groff with Harbor Engineering. Here with me tonight are the owners of the property, Greg and Cynthia, and they own 1309 Homestead Lane. It's in the R1 zoning district, just under an acre, 0.8 acres. And they have a single-family dwelling property served by public water and sewer. So they're proposing a building addition to the property, as well as some walkways, patio, and pool area, as well as a small pool off of Homestead Lane. We do have 2 stormwater infiltration beds proposed, and then we are asking for a couple modifications. I don't know how much you want me to get into it tonight, since it is a briefing item. We submitted a couple weeks ago.
Well, I would say, if
so-
you would like us to consider moving this to an action item, then the more information you can provide, the better.
If I might, I have not done a review
Oh, you
of
haven't?
this. So I
Thank
don't
you.
know if there are additional waivers that need to
Okay.
be requested or other information. So
Thanks for the
but,
clarification.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would hurt, just so that the commission knows. Amanda.
Sure, yeah. So right now, we're asking for 4 modifications. The first one's regarding the existing conditions within 200 feet. So we did get a survey of the property, but not really anything outside of the property. Some of it's shown from GIS. The next one's regarding the stormwater conveyance pipe size. It's outside of vehicular loading, but 8 inches required. We're proposing a 4-inch. I'll show you on the plan here. So a lot of the improvements are this hardscape patio, kind of behind the building addition there. So there's a couple small inlets, like one in the patio here, and a couple storm drains at the bottom of some stairs that are there. And then some of that gets conveyed over to this infiltration bed. Because the inlets and the trench drain are so small, we just have 4-inch pipes going to the bed right now. And that does show that it's adequate for the 100-year storm of what's getting to it. Again, subject to Ben reviewing. He's only had it a couple weeks. The next one is very similar, stormwater structure and pipe standards per PennDOT. Again, to have smaller, this one's a 12 by 12 inlet, and then there's a couple small trench drains at the bottom of some stairs that are in that hardscape patio area. And then the last one is regarding the geotextile placement. That's kind of a typical one that we asked for, basically to not put the geotextile on the bottom of the beds. So we'll have it on the top and the sides.
Okay. Questions from the planning commission? Do you have any questions, Angie?
This one's pretty straightforward, I think. Ben's review.
But since, and thank you, Ben, I didn't look at this closely enough, but since Ben has not done his review yet, then I would say that we appreciate it as a briefing item, and as long as you satisfy, Ben, next month, next meeting, we should take care of this
Okay.
quickly.
I do have a question. The proposed parking area in front of the house, is that intended to be maintained by the township?
I believe the intent was that you'll maintain it.
Yeah, we'll maintain it.
Okay.
And we did also submit, I think Ben passed that along to Devin, the,
Right-of-way permit.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So we haven't heard back on that yet, but again, it's only been a couple weeks since we got all that in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is LTPC 345, stormwater management site plan waiver request for 1220 New Danville Pike.
Is anyone here representing that plan on behalf of the city? Okay, all right. So this is for the city's wastewater treatment plant. And they are proposing to make some changes that would have relatively small footprint increase. And I also have not done a review letter for you, but they are also, like 177 River Drive, they're requesting that it be allowed to be processed as a minor land disturbance. And on its face, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to. The kicker here is not area of disturbance, it's the fact that the property is partially in the floodplain. And when lands are within the floodplain, they are not allowed to be processed with the minor land disturbance or stormwater exemption. So that's why they have to go through the modification request process. So again, I haven't done a full review and a letter, but it seems just on its face very simple that they should be allowed to do a minor land disturbance and stormwater exemption for the less than 1,000 square feet of impervious area on the massive site that is the city's wastewater treatment plant. But the holdup is that it's the floodplain.
So we don't have a map, but they want to do a emergency generator and a chlorine gas scrubber. Are those things we want in a floodplain? Or are those things not in that portion?
They are not in the
Okay.
floodplain.
All right.
They are proposed for installation on property that is partially within the
Gotcha.
floodplain.
Okay, all right.
So if you wanted to take action tonight, you could, subject to, a recommendation from the township engineer.
That was going to be my question, if we have that option, so.
Yeah, I know the city would appreciate moving forward.
Are there any other questions from commissioner members?
Is there any sort of visual?
I thought we had sent something.
Was it separate, not in the Dropbox?
What's that?
It was in the Dropbox. It's the one
You
file.
didn't see? What's she asking for?
The vision, the.
Oh,
Should be in there.
It is.
Debbie has it.
I just have the,
Keep going.
oh, is that there again? Oh, there we go.
like 12 pages.
Oh, there, sorry, I must have, okay. So there's already infrastructure in the floodplain,
Yep,
right?
it's all there already.
And this addition is just outside. Am I reading that right? No, proceed.
Yeah, so, getting Ben's affirmation there, then I think it'd be okay if you're all in agreement that we could make a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors we're moving this to a action item first, and recommend to the Board of Supervisors that they would approve the waiver request subject to the review and approval of the township engineer.
So moved.
Second?
A second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
and
Ben.
the city thanks you.
Okay. And we move now to subdivision land development plans and LTPC 311, Lancaster County Correctional Facility. Land development plan, and this is an action item.
Good evening. I'm Dave Miller with Ritu, and here representing the county this evening are Commissioner D'Agostino, the county warden, Cheryl Steberger, and the purchasing director, Linda Schreiner. So we're happy to be here with you again this evening. We've been before you at the sketch plan level, and then also as a briefing item. And this evening, let's see, this evening what we are looking, if you are so inclined, to give a recommendation for approval of the preliminary land development plan, as well as some of the waivers, or the waivers that we can discuss this evening. I've lost my connections, pardon me just a moment.
And Dave, can I just make sure you said you're requesting approval of the preliminary land development?
Preliminary final.
Correct.
Yes, if I said preliminary, I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Preliminary final plan and also the waivers.
Yep.
So, okay, well, let me see if this, I had it up. Okay, there's a plan. Okay, so we do have a review letter from Ben dated June 10th of 2026. It discusses the waivers that we can go through this evening, and also remaining, I'll call them cleanup items. They're administrative in nature, agreements, outside agency approvals. We're making very good progress on those. And we have no concerns or objections to those comments. If there's any of those in particular you'd like for us to go through, we certainly can. Otherwise, I thought I would go through the waivers one by one, if you would like. And then we can open it up for questions.
I would prefer that, but what is the feeling of the other commissioners? We go through these one by one.
We want to go one by one and just maybe potentially approve after each one, or?
It's up to you, we could do that. Unless Ben gives us advice otherwise.
No,
I'd
I
rather
don't.
just make one motion, so 7.
Okay. Going through the list, the waiver request number 1 is related to plan scale. Some of our plan sheets are drawn at 60 scale plan, 60 scale plans that allows the plan to fit better on the sheets. And I'll also say that Ben has recommended approval for all of these. So we appreciate that, Ben. But so number 1 is for plan scale. Number 2 is related to showing existing features within, off the site, but within 200 feet of the site. We are showing features that are relevant to the project, but not everything within 200 feet of the site. Number 3 is reconstruction of perimeter streets. And that is related specifically to Highland Avenue. The ordinance would say to reconstruct it from the center line over to our site, toward our site. In lieu of that, we are making improvements per PennDOT. We're providing a right turn lane into the site. Again, Highland Ave is a PennDOT road, so we're making the improvements per the PennDOT requirements in the HOP. Number 4 is similarly sidewalks along the perimeter street. We are providing sidewalk from the entrance to the site up to the north, up to Greenwood Avenue. So even some of that off-site area, we're providing that pedestrian connection. But to the south of our entrance, there's no connection. There's the bridge over the Conestoga, and then there are steep slopes and
Do you have
guide
Do you
rail.
have an enlarged view of,
Yeah.
of Highland Avenue?
Maybe. Let me see. This is better.
Mm-hmm. And I think you can use your magnifying thing right here,
Yeah.
zoom in a little bit.
Yep.
You can just click that arrow.
I don't know, I was trying to connect to the internet.
I think we're on a different sheet now.
I have used a computer before.
We are getting close. We are so close. Keep going.
No more requests after this, Ben.
What's that?
I said no more requests after.
Oh,
Yes,
this is on me? Nice.
You get
All
one
right,
request.
I will make requests if you don't ask questions. How's that?
Touche.
All right. So, do you mind if I explain?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Greenwood Avenue, which is a city street, is here. This is the municipal boundary line. And then this is Lancaster Township property owners. This is the site that we're talking about, the driveway that would be coming in to Highland Avenue, that's 222 northbound. So the only way to get here is to cross the bridge over the Conestoga River. So from the city there, you got to go down Prince Street, cross over, and then come back up. Highland Avenue becomes North Queen Street, a little bit to the north of this.
South Queen?
So, thank you, South Queen. It ultimately becomes North Queen. Just be patient. But anyway,
Put a requisition in for a compass, John.
so this is the access drive, and the county is proposing a sidewalk, and it's, how wide is that, do you recall?
5 feet.
5 feet, okay, along the PennDOT Highway 222 northbound. So there's really, we don't want people heading south from here because that would put them on top of the high bridge where there is no pedestrian facility. And we're not anticipating much pedestrian traffic that could potentially come from West Lancaster Township. So
Do we know, Ben, if PennDOT's gonna require anything? I mean, now, to do that turnaround you're talking about, it's like are they gonna make any improvements to that? Or you don't know yet?
I don't think you're at the you've done TIS, but you haven't really submitted an HOP plan.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so it's possible, but West Lampeter hasn't requested it. PennDOT didn't bring it up when they were talking about
Well,
scoping
it
of the
really
project.
depends on what the traffic
Yeah, yeah.
is. you know,
So we'll see.
How many left turns they're expecting.
Yeah. We don't, our understanding is that it's not required, those improvements.
With this improvement, then, who maintains that sidewalk and who would clear it then for, if there's inclement weather, for pedestrians to utilize the sidewalk to get to the prison?
Yeah, that would be, Commissioner, do we have that answer at this point? It's private.
It's private property. I don't know what your ordinance says.
When you say it's private property, I think Debbie's asking about the sidewalk that's proposed in the right-of-way.
Yeah, right.
So, and our ordinance says that the adjoining property owner is responsible to do winter maintenance.
So that guy
Have they been
Lester,
notified?
Lester is gonna clear that?
I don't know if we've had that discussion with them. But the county would be required to clear that section, and perhaps an accommodation could be made to take it all the way to Greenwood.
It would work on it. I mean, it's like when a municipality puts in a sidewalk, the municipality doesn't clear it on private property for the private property owner, it's the private property owner, but we can.
I think the majority of users would be coming to the prison facility, and you'd want it to be cleared. So, anyway, but that's a good question, Debbie.
Safe, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you have, if you live there, now you have people walking in front of your house, where before you did not. So you have that, and then you're being told to maybe have to clear it also. That's definitely something that should be discussed with those homeowners. Right now, that's just open shoulder of the road, or what's there, what's in that space
This is
now?
curbed. Yeah.
But there's no sidewalk.
It's curved and
Oh, right now, there's no sidewalk.
is it their lawn, or is it just being?
It's grass.
It's
Yeah.
curved with a very steep bank that lacks maintenance.
Gotcha, all right.
What is will it then cut away and the sidewalk right there at curb level? Is that the idea?
We'll have concrete barriers here,
Oh.
so we are not grading onto the property owner's site. We're not impacting their property.
So do they need
So it'll be a
steps?
sidewalk and then the
There's
concrete
nothing
barrier,
there.
like a Jersey barrier type of thing.
Okay. Angie, you had a question?
I was just trying, I didn't know if that meant they had steps now down
I
to
don't
that
believe so.
sidewalk, or if they live behind a Jersey
Not on that
barriers.
side, they have
I
steps
don't
in the
believe
front.
there's anything on that side.
Do you know what the elevation difference is between the barrier down to the front of those houses? Roughly
It's about 3 feet, I want to say.
3?
Yeah, it's not a big separation. We just wanted to avoid impacts on their property.
Should we move on to the next waiver request, or should we discuss this further? Okay.
Any other questions? Okay.
So
Number 5.
number 5 is curbing along perimeter streets. Again, the same area here on Highland Ave. We are curbing from our entrance up to the north and recurving up to Greenwood Ave. And then we will be curbing the right turn decel lane into our site. But then there's existing guide rail and such through here. We don't want to do any changes to that, to their drainage. Again, this is all by PennDOT what they want. So we're not, so we are providing curb to the north and the new work here, but not the existing to the south of our improvements. Number 6, lot line markers, monuments, iron pins. A good part of our property, or a portion of our property, follows the Conestoga River, and the deed defines the property line as following the high water mark. So it's a little bit loosely worded from a standpoint of putting a monument in. We don't want to do that, and the survey guidelines say not to in a situation like that. So it's the county's property and then the river, so we're not delineating someone else's property per se. So in those areas, we're asking relief not to install the monumentation. Number 7, the remaining ones are related to stormwater management. Number 7 is for dewatering time, less than 24 hours. Our project has 6 basins. One of these dewaters in under 24 hours, about 17 hours. The dewatering is meant as a water quality feature. It will allow particulates to settle out as it's dewatering. But this particular basin, it catches almost entirely roof water, which is clean. And then also, as part of what we call a treatment train, this SCM, Stormwater Control Measure 3, then drains to SCM 4, which goes to SCM 5. So there are 3 different facilities that treats this water. And for us to meet that requirement would actually make the basin smaller and deeper. And really, we didn't see that as is justifiable to do that. So we're making that request for that one basin.
Question, Andy?
Could you pull that up and just show us those 3, how they connect? The train, like the treatment train?
Sure.
That's what's on edgy.
No guarantees.
Are you close, Dave?
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you just gave us sheet number, you don't.
Yeah. May I?
Got it on there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so sheets 28 and 29 out of the 11 by 17s. Those are Dave's grading plan A and grading plan B. You want to see what it is they're looking at, Dave? Or you're close?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're at 28. Oh, you're
This
at
is
7.
PCSM set.
Okay, all right, so you're slightly different numbering. All right, PCSM plan set, anyway. All right, so I gave them, in addition to the full digital set, I gave them 11 by 17s of grading plan A and B. So that shows SCM 3.
Yep, I see the rain garden there.
Okay. And as Dave said, that takes primarily clean water, all from roof.
Yep.
And then you'll see the stormwater conveyance that goes around the corner of the building into SCM 5,
Okay.
and then it drains into SCM 4, and then it discharges across the land down into the Conestoga. Is that reasonably
Yes,
accurate?
yep, thank you.
Okay.
3 to 5 to 4, yes.
And that discharge into the Conestoga, that, is there a weir on that and then it's overtopped, or is there a drain that it comes out of the bottom of that infiltration basin and into the Conestoga? How's that flow?
There is a spillway. I mean, the principal discharge is through your standard riser, and then out to the pipe and riprap apron. But then there is a spillway for, you can see part of it right here, for any overflows that may be considered. But the basin itself is designed to handle the 100-year storm.
Yes.
So that emergency spillway
Okay.
hopefully will never get used.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that there'll be any high flows,
Yes.
erosive flows out of those basins and into the.
Right, yes. Yeah, and the basins are stabilized with matting and all, just in case. So we
Thank
don't
you.
anticipate any erosion of that.
And is that, one follow-up question, that's that flows into the Conestoga? Are there multiple outlets that eventually,
There are three. The vast majority of this site will be controlled by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SCMs, stormwater control measures. The vast majority will go through down to this point and be controlled. Again, it's the treatment train. Number 1 flows to 4, 2 flows to 4, that type of thing. The other ones are very small, and I apologize if I'm having trouble with the computer, but there's, and I'll try to get to it, but there's, here we go. There's one pipe here with a level spreader, and that collects the emergency access. There's a high point in the main entrance at this point. From this point down, will go down to another level spreader through here. Very small flows in those.
thank you.
Sure. Okay, and then number 8 is a request to exceed the 50-foot maximum length for a spillway. That is these two basins here, SCM 5, which actually flows into SCM 4. We're requesting a spillway width of 100 feet there. And then this one here, 200 feet. And the reason for that is, again, the wider the flow path, the lesser depth and the lesser velocity. So we get lesser chance of erosion through that. That is also designed for the temporary controls during construction as a sediment basin. Also, we're taking that into account as well with our design.
Ben, can you give us, for my education, what the logic or where did this 50-foot maximum length come from? Is that a best practice?
It has vexed me as well. I don't know. I don't know why we would have a maximum length of a spillway.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave, do you know?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm sure there's no science to that number.
It might just be a way of saying, hit the brakes. This thing's really big. Just look at this really carefully. Maybe,
Yeah.
but I doubt it. I think it's,
Well, it seems like, that, you know, if you can have a runway longer than 50 feet, it'd be 200 feet, it makes sense.
yeah, and to spread out that flow makes it less likely to be erosive.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. It might be because it was difficult to build spillways dead flat back in the 80s or whenever this regulation was dreamed
If
up.
Angie doesn't have the answer, then we're gonna have to Google it.
Yeah, somebody will before the meeting's over. Tony's doing it right now.
My guess is that someone along the way said, hey, let's make this whole berm a spillway, and then we don't have to build it up to the maximum height. We can save 2 feet of earth.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have a depth to the spillway. So that's the
Yeah,
issue.
so,
Yeah.
someone may have cleverly thought that, but I think the 50 feet is arbitrary. And then number 9, last but not least, is maximum loading ratios. That is the area, drainage area that goes to each of these SCMs. And the ordinance has limitations, recommended limits on that. We are slightly exceeding that. The reason for that is really to limit the potential for sinkholes in a karst geology site. So there are those limits, but we get relief from that very frequently. Our soil scientist has recommended these ratios that we're requesting, and they issued a letter to that extent. Plus, the county, the property owner, they will be responsible for maintaining any sinkholes that might develop. So we feel strongly that our design will meet the intents, and just need your blessing on the waivers, on that particular waiver and all the waivers. So that's the end of that list. If there's any other discussion on the waivers or the project as a whole?
Let's see, any other questions on the request for waivers? Waiver modifications, that's what and since we seem to be in agreement that we could do this in one motion, I will entertain a motion that we recommend to the Board of Supervisors that they approve the requested waiver and modification, the requests for the waiver and modifications as listed with justification and approval from Township Engineer dated June 10th, 2026. May I have a motion, please?
Glenn,
Yes.
question of procedure. We're gonna do the waivers, and then we're gonna do, maybe have some more discussion on the plan, and then.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, this is strictly a motion relative to the request for modification and waivers. So may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, I'll move to recommend to the supervisors approval of the waiver modifications for LTPC 311 as reflected in Ben's
June
letter
10th.
on June 10th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
Glenn,
Thank you.
who seconded that?
I did.
Thank you.
Okay, then let's take a look at the subdivision lane development comments and review.
I can talk through those if you'd like.
Okay.
Number 1 is related to, 1A is related to sewage planning module. And we are moving through that process to get that approval. PPL approval for improvements proposed within their existing right-of-way. We are doing actually very minimal work in the right-of-way, but we've talked with PPL and we've submitted an encroachment agreement with them, which they are currently reviewing. So we anticipate that.
Is that right away along the boundary of the site, or just roughly?
There's a 100-foot right-of-way overhead,
Okay.
high-tension wire that goes through the site here.
Okay, thank you.
Lancaster Township emergency responders, we've been coordinating with the fire department on that, so we anticipate getting their approval. Water and sewer are both, number 2, water and sewer, we've been working closely with the city of Lancaster, who is supplying service, both water and sewer, and they are reviewing plans for that. Number 3, modification, that's just adding notes to the plan as far as when the modifications get approved, so we do that. Developers, number 4, developers agreement being reviewed by the township solicitor, and once that is finalized, will need to be executed, and then the financial security posted. So we have no concerns with that. Number 5, we are proposing 2 storm inlets, I believe it is, in the PennDOT right-of-way with a storm pipe. That's part of the PennDOT HOP process. We are working with PennDOT to consider to allow the county to be the applicant for that. Given this circumstance, if it was a private developer, that'd be one thing, but with the county, typically the municipality is the applicant, and then there's an agreement that the property owner will do the maintenance on that. So, bottom line is, if PennDOT requires the township to be the applicant, then the county will prepare a reciprocal agreement to turn that maintenance over to the county. Number 6 is related to a new deed. When that is, if you remember, there's a very small sliver of land that was subdivided off, and that 10-foot wide strip. So a new deed, once that is recorded, then our plan information will be updated. Stormwater management, number 1, Lancaster County Conservation District. We're working closely to obtain an NPDES permit, making good progress on that. Number 2, notification to the public utilities. Again, we've submitted an encroachment agreement to PPL, so they're fully aware of this project and had multiple conversations with them, coordination. Number 3, stormwater collection has to be approved by PennDOT. There will be an HOP for that. And then number 4, completing the geological certificate prior to execution, prior to plan recording. And we can certainly do that. So that's...
So is there gas service in the area or in the vicinity?
There will be.
There will be.
UGI is bringing service to the site.
Okay, okay.
You have a very large flat roof. Was there any discussions of using solar for any energy needs? Or even if it's that you're selling it to somebody, you know, if you need a more reliable source?
There are many options that have been discussed and reviewed. Our focus here was for land development.
Okay, that's a
and we're
different
meeting,
discussion.
and I'm not brushing the comment off.
I
we're
should have
meeting to do
preempted
that.
my question with that it may not be relevant to this.
So we're meeting the stormwater requirements.
Just as a point of information for Ben, I said, you know, the idea, you know, that a municipality or a county is apply, you know, for the permit, is that only for county? Because I'm thinking of projects that we've done in the past that were not a county project, but they were other municipal projects where, you know, the permit applicant was, you know, whoever was doing the work.
Yes. Yeah,
So is
typically, the developer, let's call it developer, will
Yeah.
fill out the paperwork, but at times would need the township to sign it. Then you had a.
Yeah, I thought Glenn was asking me a question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's any difference between a county entity and any other municipal entity relative to them applying directly for the permit.
Relative to them directly applying for the permit, no. But there are several nuances that are different. So if it's the school district that is proposing a project that serves Lancaster Township students as well as city students, then that definitely does have some impact on some of the different regulations and how some of our procedures work. If the city is proposing a project, say the City Operations Center, then we see that more as a municipal use that isn't directly benefiting Lancaster Township residents. So then there's a difference there. I would say the county prison is more the former than it is the latter, because the county prison is serving Lancaster Township in terms of it being a correctional facility. Yes, it serves the entire county, but it serves Lancaster Township in that regard.
Okay.
So hopefully that helps, but they are
It
a
does,
political
it helps.
subdivision, the same as the city is. And there are certain expectations that we would have from a political subdivision that are slightly different than what we would have from the school district or a utility authority.
Right.
So there's various nuances along the way.
And I was thinking something along some of the things we've done with school districts in the past, that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, school districts, LASA, LASA projects, various other utilities, so, yeah.
Thank you. Questions from the planning commission?
I think two. First, I want to thank you for the tree protection work plan and the work and the back and forth to get all that figured out. My question is about the, I'm looking at the landscaping plan, which is sheet 44, I believe. And there are some trees proposed in the, like the vegetation islands and the parking lot. I don't know what the formal,
Interior landscaping.
yes. Are those drainages from the parking lot, or is there curbing preventing water from going into those landscaping
There's
areas?
curving in those islands.
Okay,
just
so
to-
they're not any sort of stormwater feature?
Correct,
or
they're not.
anything like that?
They're not stormwater control measures, right?
Okay. And then my other comment was, looking at your, totally lost it, your species that you're proposing, there's a handful, there's a mix of native and non-native. I don't know if you could revisit that and try to plant natives within the landscape, knowing that we have so many invasives in the surrounding area.
Is there a difference between not native and invasive?
There can be, yes. Not every non-native is invasive.
Okay. You probably have a list on invasive, don't you? I mean, you guys are pretty good at this.
We rely on DEP's listing of invasives and non-native species.
Yes, I was not suggesting that you had in here to plant anything that was an invasive. That was not, that was not what I was suggesting.
Understand.
We actually rely on Angie.
Yeah. But to utilize native plants, since it's, you're planting things and you can plant.
I'm certainly happy to
Probably got
revisit that.
mixed up there and
Yeah.
put in something that you thought was
Yeah.
invasive. We didn't want to do that.
One of the, so other than the fire, but any first responders that would be coming there, and if they were coming from the city, they would go, take Greenwood Avenue and then use the emergency access?
Yeah, there are.
Or Morton Lane, or?
Yeah, there are 2 emergency accesses. The primary one, I will call it, is through the Dirty Old Tavern,
Oh, okay.
which has been approved and all the easements in place for that.
Okay.
So the one going out to Greenwood Ave, that is a secondary emergency access.
Yeah, because there's always the possibility that one of them could be blocked.
Right.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes, so on your sheet, we talked about this previously, you're showing a trailhead. I don't know which sheet it is, but the trailhead parking lot to the north of the Dirty Old Tavern. What's your intent there? Because it says it's under a separate permit.
Right, and that was approved by, that was not a land development. So yes, the part, that's a gravel area right now that is simply being paved. And so, and then this is the parking lot for Dirty Old Tavern, and there's a driveway, I'll call it, that's going through there now. That will be repaved, it'll be striped as a fire lane, and then there'll be a gate at the property line here. So, and then the emergency vehicles will have access to that, to open up the gate, of course. So, your question is, what is that?
Access though, if there's a gate there?
Yeah, they will have the keys, if you will, lock boxes, whatever it may be, to be able to get through. And I'm going by memory, it may be a breakaway gate. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's the case.
Is it not, the parking lot though, is utilizing that access?
This parking lot, again, it's there now. So the purpose of this is to pave that. Ultimately, and if I can go back, the access,
There's a separate access.
the access driveway going up to the prison, and then there's the emergency access coming down. That can also be used to access that.
It's only
trailer
10
parking.
feet wide though, right?
It is on this phase. It's designed to be 18 feet, I believe, ultimately. But for this phase of the project, it'll be the 10 feet, enough for emergency vehicles.
And you would, well, you said you've talked to the first responders, but you'd want, especially the fire people, because they're gonna bring the biggest equipment there, so
Yeah.
you're gonna get their input as to what the recommendation is for that access.
Absolutely.
So when do you plan to create that trailhead then?
One thing that we couldn't include that with the prison because there's going to be permitting involved. Part of that trail is going to be within floodplain, other environmental permits that would set this project back significantly. So we've designed to allow for that, but we haven't included the trail itself.
I mean the trailhead parking lot.
Oh, that will be done either before or concurrently with the prison. Am I?
Yeah, if you're talking about the parking lot, that'll be done as part of this project.
Okay.
Because the improvements to the emergency access, they need to be done all the way down to the south.
That trailhead parking lot is for the general public to use?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have a permit for that already. The township
Do
already
you
gave us a
you
permit.
anticipate using the route, if you will, or the emergency access plan for the construction entrance? No? Be a separate line?
The primary, the new access to the site, that will be the construction access. So all construction vehicles will be entering and exiting through that.
Which means they'll have to get and turn around, right?
They will.
So, I'm just trying to understand, so this project has the trailhead parking lot, but only a 10-foot wide drive that'll be open to the public?
If you're talking about the emergency access drive that goes off of the,
So it is sheet 14 is a good view of it.
So this is the access, this is the emergency access.
Yeah.
Right.
I think what we're getting at is there's a discrepancy between sheet 14 and sheet 30.
16 and 30, Ben?
I said 14?
Oh, 14 and
Yeah,
30.
yeah. So 14 depicts and layout plan configuration, a 10-foot wide bituminous emergency access. And sheet 30 shows it at the 18-foot wide configuration that you were referring to.
Everything is being graded for the 18-foot, so all the earthwork will be done. It just won't be paved at this point. So if the plan indicates otherwise, we'll want to make that adjustment. But
Well, I think if I may take the lead from John, why wouldn't it be paved?
The whole trail access is being looked at separately. The access, the greenway trail, that type of thing hasn't been designed yet. So that will be part of the, honestly, part of the funding for the trail to widen that emergency access. So what that access. So for right now, we're providing what needs to be for the prison site. And then as a separate project will be any trail improvements or widening that emergency access.
Okay, so you'll pave the 10 feet, but you're gonna grade it for 18 feet, or eventually paving that next 8 feet.
Yes, you're right. And
But
there's
you're
one
not
other
paving
point.
the parking lot.
The parking lot would be paved as part of the emergency access while the equipment is there.
So you're gonna create a public parking lot with a 10-foot wide driveway. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well,
let me say this. If you have a width you want, we'll do it.
I'm just thinking of,
I hear
Logistics
you.
of
I didn't know
access.
this.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's 10. Is there a reason why we can't make it wider now?
no,
Okay.
we can. The stormwater
Strange to
management,
me. I'll agree with you.
yeah. The stormwater management has been designed for that ultimate width, so it's just a matter
Yeah,
of doing it
I
now
know it's
rather
been
than
designed, so I'm not sure why.
Okay.
Am I hearing this wrong? So there's a possibility that, he said emergency access and trail is one and the same location?
Yes.
No, not emergency access and trail are one and the same.
Oh, right.
The emergency access provides vehicular access
Right,
for
yeah, 'cause
people
the
to
trail should
drive.
not have motorized vehicles, right? Or not?
The trail, I don't think is going to be provided for motorized
Right.
vehicles. The trail design is
shared
potentially
use
a ways
hiker,
off.
biker.
What's that?
Shared use hiker biker stuff.
We don't know. We don't know to what extent it's going to be
I
shared
just
use.
remember what we did in Effort when we did the senior living project and we extended the trail, through the property there.
So let me back up.
Big standards.
Let me back up to the emergency access drive configuration. Vehicles and that want to come, vehicular drivers that want to get to that trailhead parking will need to come into the prison site using the main entrance. They'll need to come around and make that right-hand turn and go down that emergency access drive, which we're all in agreement will be installed at 18 feet wide.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we'll need a little plan change. You got the grading, you got the stormwater management in place, so no biggie. So they get to there, It has yet to be determined what and when the trail that will be the Greenway Trail, exactly how that's going to work out. We're in discussions with solicitors between the county and the township to work that out. There certainly would be a delay in that being installed because of the CREP riparian buffer. So not until 2031, I think it is. So the county legally is not allowed to install improvements in the CREP riparian buffer area, that large crosshatch. So
In red here.
Having said that, if you don't mind, we know that we can have public access through there, we just can't put improvements. It's already mowed and sort of ripe for people to walk through because we've got permission for that, but we can't put any improvements until 2031. So I just wanted to build off of what Ben's saying, and that's also why we're able to put the parking area, because people will be able to use it. If you walk down there like we did, you could walk through there. John, you were there.
Yes.
And you could walk through there, but just can't put any improvements in there. So, no bituminous or stone or any interpretive signs yet. But yeah, people could use it, and it will look like a Greenway Trail, except there won't be anything designating where to walk except for the mowed area.
So you answered, that discussion answered one of my questions, which was about that gate and how you access that parking lot. The gate is there because of the property with the dirty old tavern, right? And managing people
Yes.
going through their property.
Correct.
So you come onto the prison property, you come down through that access road. Where on the prison property is some sort of security point that people have to go through? Like, or is there a security point that people have to go through on this property? Like, if I wanted to go to the trail, is there a gate?
There are gates.
Check or something that?
I might tell you better, but there's only so far along the perimeter drive that people can go.
Yeah,
So they can't go past the public parking areas
okay.
unless they're a vendor, and then they can get past that.
So this turn off to the trail is prior to that
It's open.
security
Yes.
point, okay.
There'll be a gate at this point, and then also at this point.
Okay. Thank you.
The emergency access easement, to me, makes a lot of sense as a pedestrian access point for someone walking within Lancaster Township to get to the prison.
Are you talking about through the dirty old tavern property?
Yes.
And that's something that was very, with a lot of effort, negotiated between the county and dirty old tavern property owners. So it's not dedicated to the township. It's not open to the public. It is strictly for emergency responders to get to the prison site.
Believe me, it wasn't for lack of trying. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm sure
So
they
they
had some
don't have
liability
pedestrians.
concerns.
Was there a, because I pulled it up, the easement agreement, and you can look at this later, I don't mean to railroad you here, but it says, for emergency vehicle and pedestrian ingress and egress and regress to and from the county property within that easement, which to me makes a lot of sense to allow pedestrians to use that if they're walking to the prison. Because realistically, your only avenue to get up there if you're coming from township property is to come up, I don't know the name of that street, the diagonal street. So
Norton Lane?
South Queen.
South Queen.
South Queen.
And there's no sidewalk onto that, and it's pretty steep
Oh, I
up
see.
there, and it's sort of a dangerous way to get
Yeah.
up to there, and that's your only way to get there. If you're down at the intersection near where the SPCA is.
Well, you could walk up Prince. I mean, people don't walk long the longest path that you could walk up Prince and then cross that road that goes
Furnace?
by where the, yeah, I knew it started with an F.
What I'm getting at is, can you take another look at that easement agreement and see if it does allow for pedestrian egress?
We know, I negotiated with them that they will not allow pedestrian access past their property.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
When you say they, Ray,
The property owner,
okay,
38
thank you. Just to be clear.
This is the best we could get.
Okay.
Who takes the calls from the dirty old, like, when people use this? I mean, you can call the signs up if you want, right? When there are people that walk that way.
That's what
What's-
we said.
Yeah. What happened, like, how's that roll out then?
Is it Lancaster
Is it
Township?
trespassing? I guess it's trespassing?
It would be trespassing,
Be
we would have to report
trespassing?
to the
Yeah.
police, investigated, so forth.
Yeah, there's a lot of history with us trying to
Other,
get this done, so.
other questions or comments?
Yeah, the access road in has a 10-foot wide bituminous path that then transitions down into a 4-foot sidewalk. Can you just talk about the intent of what that path is for? Why does it start at 10, and then why does it neck down to 4 feet?
Well, the 10-foot and the necking down, where are you referring to?
At that first intersection, so you take the access drive
Yeah.
from Highland Ave, follow it all the way down to the first intersection on the property.
Now, this is 10-foot wide all the way
Yeah, right there.
to the prison.
Right there, it stops being 10 foot wide there.
Yes, because that, in addition to being access to the prison, is the access way ultimately to the trail.
Okay, so the intent there is for it to be the access for the trail, and that's why it's 10
Yes.
foot. Okay.
Yes.
I would just suggest then adding some kind of connection, whether it be crosswalk, striping that designates it that way, because you only have striping that brings you across your access drive into the prison, but nothing that really designates that as use for pedestrians to get down to that parking lot.
I can meet them.
Good idea.
What are you talking about here?
Yes, exactly.
Anything else? Then I would entertain a motion that we recommend to the supervisors, subject to the satisfaction of all of the comments that are listed in Ben's June 10th review letter, that we would recommend that the Board of Supervisors approve the preliminary land development plan based on satisfaction of all the review comments.
If I might suggest that we also ask the county to incorporate the things we talked about tonight. So I think there are some very valid points, and so definitely will follow up on them, but I wouldn't want the county to walk away thinking that they didn't need to do it because it wasn't in the motion.
So I can think of 3 things: the pedestrian marking for the crosswalk for the access, the paving, the full 18-foot wide, and looking at the list for native trees. Did we have anything else?
What was the third one, Angie?
The
I'm sorry.
native trees,
Yeah.
looking at trying to focus on native trees.
I think working out that agreement with the property owner too.
Yes. And discussing
Which property?
the sidewalk.
Where they're doing the sidewalk improvement.
okay.
Because at this point, I mean, that person does not have a sidewalk to have to maintain and care for.
Mhm.
And I appreciate that we want pedestrians to be able to access that, but I think they deserve to have a say in that and understand that they need to work with the county to make sure that it is cleared.
And looking at their red, it is the side of their property, not the front, if that makes and.
Right, but
Would the-
they're still working on
Would
it.
the county be willing to allow a note to be put on the plan that obliges
gonna
the
say-
county to clear that and maintain
Yeah,
that
I
sidewalk?
wouldn't want to see, I mean, we might be able to do an agreement, I'd have to take a look at that situation, but given the unique nature of where that's located on that property and where our property is, how it has to be installed, I will say it makes sense for the county to maintain it. I'd rather not have a requirement to have an agreement. We may just agree to do it by a note on the plan. We'll talk with our solicitor and see if that's something we should do. But I hate to have this whole entire project hinging on something that's out of our control. We will agree to maintain it, given the very unique nature. If we have to maintain that other area anyway, it's just no big deal to come across.
It makes sense.
Given how it has to be installed, after thinking about it since you've mentioned it, I think it makes sense. So I'd agree to that.
Great.
Did you get all this, Gretchen?
We'll work together. As we do.
I know, they're already out there.
Okay, so you could add what Angie said, these other things that we just said here to the motion.
I think it makes sense for Angie to make this.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me try to tackle this.
Okay.
All right, let me get the right number here.
311.
All right, I will make a motion to recommend to the supervisors approval of the land development plan for LTPC 311, depending on fulfillment of the review letter by Ben Weber on June 10th, 2026, and the 4 items the Planning Commission requested review of at our June 17th meeting. 16th. I'm a day ahead. 16th. I almost had it.
Second.
Is there a second? Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, so carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good discussion.
Thank you.
If I may, I just want to say thank you. The gratitude that we have as a county with you. We started this journey in 2021. Just think about 5 years ago, we started this journey with the zoning, and then all the planning efforts culminated today with the recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. I have to say that the diligence that you all and the staff particularly, I mean, when we had reviews being done by the staff, the diligence and the speediness of getting the comments, and then us getting back to them with questions or revised plans and letters. It was all worked smooth, it was all timely. I just wish that the state, quite frankly, could just see how you work here, because you've done a great job. We're so grateful for the working relationship we've had. And we will have that continuing on when we have that new facility, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Is there any new business, John or Ben, or the commissioners?
No, when we're out, maybe we can talk about some things we see coming up down the pike.
All right. So there's no, if there's no other old business, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, John?
Yeah, just more of an announcement.
Oh, okay.
It came in a little late. Last week's Board of Supervisors meeting, they asked staff to work on an ordinance for camping in the township.
Camping.
Yes. The draft ordinance has already been created, and they would like it to go through a review from the Planning Commission. So it was just a little late to try and rush that out late last week for you. And we weren't going to have a discussion tonight, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. That'll be coming out as soon as we get a chance, probably this week, to forward it to you just to start looking at. Give you plenty of time to review it, and then we'll plan on putting it on the agenda for next month and have a discussion.
Is this public public commercial campgrounds, or people just camping in parks, or what's the nature of that?
I would say it's more of a commercial type thing. I honestly haven't even had a chance to read it myself entirely. I believe it's a bit of an amendment Basically, some of the problems we've been seeing is people allowing camping, very primitive, and no facilities, and there's concerns about safety and the locations where the camping is occurring, water, septic, sewer, any of those types of things. So we're trying to address those items by
That's
ordinance.
camping.
It is.
When it's over a weekend, but when it's over several months, it's not.
This is like
Yeah.
a short-term
Yeah.
lease.
You can't give up your driveway for 2 months.
No.
Okay, motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.